We do have to take into account the level, not so much the level of the audio, but the level of the exercises. Timing is important. We don't want to bore our students. 5 minutes, personally, I've always felt was a maximum, although I usually use shorter videos. Knowledge, and when I mean by knowledge, I don't mean their linguistic knowledge, but the topic or the subject, that the students have some knowledge of it. It's you know, they're going to switch off if it's something they're not very interested in, that it's got nothing to do with their lives. The end, we've got to watch it to the end, because we might find a surprise, of course, from appropriateness consideration at the end, so watch it through. And finally, copyright. We've got to make sure that we're using video that we have permission to use, and it's not going to get ourselves or our school into problems. Now, the BBC News shows every day a 1-minute news program. It's world news, very short, and I used to show this once a week to my students at the beginning of class, and it really does help build up their confidence. I think it's great, not just from a linguistic point of view, but you are bringing in real-world problems, situations. It is the news, so it tends to be bad things, negative things, but they're things they've seen on Spanish news or may have heard about, and you're bringing them into the classroom, and you can work on the vocabulary with them, and even then try a little bit of listening with them. Our next activity I call face-to-face, and I call it face-to-face because you're going to ask your students to work in pairs, and they're going to sit opposite each other, looking into each other's faces. Now, the idea of this activity is to practice fluency in speaking. Here we have on the screen 5 American films. Can anybody translate those titles back into their original title? Okay, it's a bit of a difficult one, but I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to see if people can come up. Fury, Maria Serrano says. Which film? I don't know. Still Alice. Oh yeah, well, she got the Oscar, of course, for Best Actress. Gone Girl, very good. We've got a lot of film experts here. Let's have a look at the answers. And number 1, Perdida, was Gone Girl. Number 2, Siempre Alice, was still Alice, not always Alice. Then Dos Tontos Todavía Más Tontos was called Dumb and Dumber 2. Corazones de Acero is Fury. And finally, Cómo Acabar Sin Tu Jefe 2, or Horrible Bosses 2. Now, what are we going to do with it? Well, it's entertaining, but we can use that. My plan is to use that as a writing activity, but we show the video at the end of the class.